Good morning, this is Linda Morris, and it's that time of year where you might have picked up some extra weight throughout the summer because you're wearing more loose-fitting clothes because it's been hot out, right? So it's time to share my screen and talk about the Vital Balance eating plan. And this is all about, it's really a lifestyle. And once you learn it, you can just go back on it for a few days or a week and get back to balance where you want to be, because sometimes we get it hooked into some of those pastries or ice cream, or for me it was even kombucha was a little bit too much sugar for my body, and it kind of threw me off. So I'm going to share my PowerPoint so we can just go over the presentation and get back on track. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and this is not the one I wanted to share, but you know what? Technology only works when you're not looking. Has anybody else noticed that? Yes. Okay, so from the beginning, here we go. This is actually a doctor's program that it's actually, I've been aware of it for about 10 years, and I actually took some additional information from a couple of other doctors and added it in. And it is a lifestyle. And the fact is, let food be your medicine. The greatest medicine of all is to teach people how not to need it. Don't you love that? So our problems today: obesity, fatigue, cognitive problems. We are out of whack. The country, not only North America, but the world is a bit out of whack. Every pound of fat that you gain produces 7 miles of new blood vessels. Imagine what burden those few little extra pounds you joke about can put on your heart. So 10 pounds overweight, over where you want to be, that's 70 extra miles per heartbeat your heart is having to pump. So if you're 30 pounds overweight, 30 times 7, that's 210 extra miles per heartbeat that your heart has to pump. And that's why a lot of times individuals that are packing on extra weight tend to have more stress on their heart. So to reduce the stress, let's just remove some of those pounds. On the positive side, every pound you lose results in a 4-pound reduction in knee joint load or knee pressure. If you lost 10 pounds, you could have a total of 48,000 less pounds of pressure for every mile walked. That's huge. On the Vital Balance eating program, you will transform your body's ability to digest sugars properly by regulating your insulin levels. How? By giving your pancreas a well-deserved break, by cutting out simple and complex carbs until you've reached your weight loss goal. So that isn't forever. It's not like that favorite thing. You can't have it forever. It's just not right now. And we look at 7 days at a time. You can do anything for just 7 days. This is a real solution to these problems, not some yo-yo diet, and certainly not diet pills to further mess up your metabolism. We look for lasting results with real wholesome foods, teaching you key lessons that empower you to get results. On average, women lose weight at the rate of 3 to 5 pounds per week and 4 to 7 pounds per week for men. So lesson number 1, there's only 3. Learn to live off your body's own fat reserves. Your body gets its energy from 3 reserves: carbohydrates, protein, and fats. The body first burns energy from its simple and complex carbohydrate reserves, and when depleted, turns simultaneously to its protein and fat reserves for energy. Your body only stores 3 days worth of carbs. This is the good news. It's also the bad news. Your body stores 3 days worth of carbs. Because of this, the Vital Balance diet has a beginning and an end, like a treatment, until you've reached 100% of your weight loss goal, where you restrict all sugars from your diet, even healthy fruits and those vegetables that have a high sugar content, such as corn, potatoes, beets, peas, carrots, and the like. 4 grams of carbohydrates is equal to 1 teaspoon of sugar. So another thing to remember here, your body stores 3 days worth of carbs. So if you had a carbohydrate festival yesterday, don't get on the scale for 3 days, because it's not going to be good news if you're trying to release a couple pounds. It's not going to change because you just gave it 3 days worth of carbs. Something to remember there. As long as sugar is entering your system, you're not burning fat. It's as simple as that. Remember, your body first takes its energy from your carb reserves. The idea is to deplete your carb reserves completely in order to get your body to turn to its fat to burn calories. When you put too many grams of carbs into your system, your pancreas senses danger It zeroes out the danger with insulin. Your body realizes it has no more sugar, thus craves more sugar. You eat more carbohydrates, too many normally, and the vicious cycle is on and repeating. So how do we get our body to burn its fat reserves and not its muscle mass reserves if both are depleted simultaneously? So by providing your body with foods that have a very high protein value, complete with nutrients, essential amino acids, 98% plus absorbable, that's important, which make them biologically complete proteins. We supplement your body with whole food nutrient-rich supplements such as multivitamins, calcium, magnesium, and potassium, which is a key ingredient in muscle building, and electrolytes to replace those normally found in foods restricted on the eating plan. So this is just from my cupboard. Actually, it's probably about 7 years ago I took this out. Just to, look at the back of these labels. From here on out, you really want to start reading those labels to see what's really happening. So 1 teaspoon of sugar is equal to 4 grams of carbohydrates. So we're just going to take from that out of my cupboard some items and create a breakfast, lunch, and a dinner, just to have you look at it to see what it really means. So this is a typical, what we consider healthy, stick to your bones breakfast. So 8-ounce glass of orange juice. We see that all over North America. Well, that 8-ounce glass of orange juice is 26 grams of carbs, which is 6.5 teaspoons of sugar, or 2 tablespoons of sugar. So I really recommend you grab a tablespoon, a big bag of sugar. Okay, it just needs to hold 5 cups of sugar, and a measuring cup. And do this because, especially for people that aren't quite understanding it, once you scoop the sugar yourself, you have an aha moment that you will never forget, and it sticks with you. So it's a learning moment. So 1 cup of oatmeal, if you look at the label, and I actually have a container of oatmeal here, there is no sugar in that oatmeal at all. But you know what? How your body interprets it with those 54 grams of carbs in 1 cup is 4.5 tablespoons, otherwise known as 13.5 teaspoons. That is a lot. And that isn't, and then we put on 1/8 of a cup of raisins. That's another 1.25 tablespoons of sugar. We normally put brown sugar on, which is 2 more teaspoons of sugar. And then we top it off with 1 piece of whole grain toast. We need those whole grains. That's what we hear on TV from the TV doctors all the time. That's 44 grams of carbs. In that 1 piece of toast, there's almost 4 tablespoons of sugar, and that's before we put jelly on. So that breakfast total is 147 grams of carbs, which is almost 37 teaspoons of sugar for breakfast. And we thought we were doing good. When we're looking to reduce our weight, limiting our carbs to as low as possible is necessary to burn fat. So generally, for people that do not have diabetes, it's 30 grams of carbs a day and below, which is about 7 teaspoons of sugar a day. If you do have diabetes, you want to check it out with your doctor, talk to them. But generally, that's 30 to 50 grams of carbs a day if you have diabetes.
Linda?
Yes?
Just check my screen for just a second.
I'm in a PowerPoint, Barbara. Is it really important?
I have the sugar.
Oh, you're holding. I don't know. Well, let me. I'm going to show it at the end. But thank you.
Okay.
I don't know if I can see anybody else. Okay, let's click on Barbara. Okay. Okay, hold on. Add to start. No, I'm not want to do that. So.
Good. I see it.
Okay, we'll pin you up there. Okay, there we go. Thank you. So let's move on to lunchtime. A healthy American lunch. We look at black beans and rice. So in 2 cups of black beans, and this is shocking for most people, and you can read, pull out a label of black beans and check it out yourself. 2 cups of black beans, because this is lunch, it's not just a snack. That's 248 grams of carbs, which is 62 teaspoons of sugar. That's 21 tablespoons of sugar. And if you can see Barbara there scooping, she could get carpal tunnel in the 62 teaspoons of sugar. 1 cup of brown rice, 66 grams of carbs. That's 16.5 teaspoons of sugar or 5.5 tablespoons. The nice, warm, hot Cuban bread that has the butter on top. Oh, okay, we're not kidding. We don't normally just eat half a loaf. We have the whole loaf, but we're going to be conservative here and say we're going to eat half a loaf of that Cuban bread. That's 112 grams of carbs. That's 28 teaspoons of sugar or 9 1/3 tablespoons. So this lunch total is 426 grams of carbs. That's 106 teaspoons of sugar. Your pancreas is now saying, danger, danger, danger. If you keep eating this way, especially every day, you might have to start some medication, and that's not where we want to go. Look at that. Barbara's holding it up. That's what, we're about 3 cups of sugar now. So let's go on to the All-American spaghetti and meatball dinner. So spaghetti pasta, it doesn't matter if it's regular or gluten-free, it still ends up being about 46 grams of carbs for a quarter box, which is another 3.8 tablespoons of sugar. The spaghetti sauce, even though it's made from a tomato that has seeds in it, which means it's a fruit, that's only about 1 tablespoon for half a cup of spaghetti sauce. Homemade meatballs that do not contain breadcrumbs or bread, just the plain meatballs, which are still very tasty. That's 1.5 teaspoons of sugar, so a half a tablespoon. That's not bad. Now we're going to have at least 2 pieces of that yummy warm garlic bread, 2 slices, 42 grams of carbs, 9.5 teaspoons of sugar, or once again, 3 tablespoons. 2 glasses of wine because sometimes we just don't want to have a little fun. That is also 42 grams of carbs, 9.5 teaspoons of sugar, or another 3 tablespoons. 1 slice of plain cheesecake. This does not contain caramel sauce. This is just your basic cheesecake. Is another 3 tablespoons of sugar. So for this tasty meal, that's 182 grams of carbs, 45.5 teaspoons of sugar. So let's just add up this day that did not contain any snacks. Just your basic breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The total for the day is 188 teaspoons of sugar, which is 4 cups of sugar, which you can see Barbara holding up right now. That's the interpretation of the foods that you took into your body that day. That's how your pancreas is looking at it. It's like, holy cow, that's a lot in one day. So limiting our carbs to as low as possible is necessary to burn fat. Say we need 30 grams of carbs in a day from vegetable sources, which is about 7 teaspoons of sugar a day, and we had 188. So we were about 181 teaspoons over what our body needed if we wanted to release fat. The primary purpose of insulin is to turn sugar into fat. So moving on, this is our Vital Balance eating plan protocol, and thank you, Barbara, for scooping for us. You did a beautiful job. Appreciate it. You were prepared. I love it. So cutting out sugar, fruit, grains, and carbohydrates for 7 days will curb your sugar cravings. And I just did that myself because I was getting into a little bit of this sugar, a little bit of that sugar, a little bit of Halloween candy, a little bit of pie, a little bit of bread. You know, it's just like one little piece at a time. You know what? It does start to add up. And that's why the app, MyFitnessPal, you can get it on your phone, your device, on the computer, and you can actually start tracking what you're doing, what you're putting in your body every day. Because that awareness, if you have to enter it, you're going to think about it, right? Protein only means no sugar, no fruit, no juice, no grains, no beans, and no starch. Protein can be eggs, meat, fish, cheese, nuts, and seeds. Potatoes, tomatoes, and yucca. Potatoes, anything that looks like a starch is a starch. So breakfast before noon, protein only breakfast. You know what? That boosts up your brain. It really, if you're putting carbohydrates in the morning, even if it's spinach, it's still a carbohydrate and kind of fogs your brain a little. It actually sets up the day for cravings. So the easiest thing to do is the Nikken Kenzen Vital Balance Meal Replacement Shake. And I have been doing this for, I don't even know how many years, 5, 6 years now. That's how I start my day. It also makes you happier because it does have hemp protein in it. You can do 2 scoops of the protein. That'll give you 20 grams of protein. Or if you add 1 more scoop, that's 30 grams of protein. A lot of men or people that are looking to lose, you know, say you're looking to lose 50 pounds, you need more protein. So I'd add another scoop of protein. Also, my friend Heather that's on, she adds a raw egg. She grows her own. She has chickens that grow their own eggs. She doesn't grow her own eggs, the chickens do. That adds another 6 grams of protein. Also for breakfast, you can have scrambled eggs. You can have any of the meat proteins that you want. You can even also have hemp seeds too. The optional, you don't have to, but you can. You can have a cup of coffee or tea, but that's without all that sugary creamer. Now, real cream is low protein. Also, there are some of the ultra-filtered milks now that are low carbohydrate and high protein. There's one that I buy. It's in a red plastic container, and it's ultra-filtered. So that's what I use. I actually put that into my frappayer, and I make it into a nice foamy hot coffee in the morning. So lunch, once again, if you look at this, you can have Vital Balance at breakfast, lunch, dinner. You can have it as a snack. Doesn't mean you have 4 a day. It means you can have it whenever you want. In fact, I happen to know my friend Barbara, she makes it her frozen Vital Balance ice cream every night before bed. I think even her dog has it before he goes to bed. And a friend of mine that's been teaching this doctor's program for 10 years, it actually originated with another company. She said, you know, they had them doing 5 of their shake packs every day. And she said that the last one that they cut out at the end was the one before bedtime. So it is smart to have another shake right before bed because it does rebalance. Somebody, we need to mute you. I'm sorry. Oh, I don't know how to unmute when I'm over here. Sorry. Mute yourself. Okay, let's get back. Okay, from current slide. There we go. So it's important.
Never mind. I was going to share while you were doing that. That the evening shake is really important for me because it gives me that extra. I have to have a half an hour before I lay down just so it gets to the next part of your gut. But it just, I don't wake up with that hunger pain, that pine, that, you know, total empty feeling. So it's very, very vital for me. And then if you notice on this form, she's got pie water, pie mag water, because I also drink a big glass of water when I first wake up. So you want to make sure you're having your water with your buddy all day long as well.
Thank you very much. Generally, I've also noticed a lot of people have even better results if they have at least 1 salad a day. And I like to make my salad, and I just put like tuna or egg salad on top of it, and I don't even need dressing and you make that with the real mayonnaise. You can also use olive oil, lots of different herbs. Balsamic vinegar actually turns to sugar in the body, so that's not on this plan. Dinner, you know, 7 ounces, seafood, chicken, turkey, beef. You can have more eggs with all the vegetables you want. So you want to take your body weight and cut it in half, and this is how many grams of protein your body needs every day to reduce weight. So say you weigh 200 pounds, that means you need 100 grams of protein a day or more. That's where MyFitnessPal app can really help you figure out how many grams of protein is in a chicken breast or a crab leg or tuna, an egg, a steak. So you can actually start adding it up. And each scoop of the Vital Balance meal replacement, which is really, I mean, it's a perfect meal. We're going to talk about that a little later, but it's actually, in my opinion, and what research I've done, it's the most advanced meal replacement on the market. So it's not just a protein shake, it is a complete meal. You want to also take your half of your body weight. So say, once again, you weigh 200 pounds, you need 100 ounces of good, healthy water. And we do recommend the Nikken Mag Living Water. It is mimics a waterfall in nature. So your body fully recognizes it and will fully use all of it. And it's also a very nice alkaline, remineralized perfect water, really. Afternoon, all real vegetables are okay. Reducing or cutting out dairy entirely will increase your results because that creates a sluggish environment. So if you are going to do any cheeses, you want to look like real sheep's milk. Yeah, feta, goat's milk cheese, buffalo, mozzarella. Those are not from cows. They're not dairy. You may take your Siaga and progesterone capsule after your noon meal too. Our liver support, which is called Cleanse and Detox, will also help with your success. And you do have the best success if you're doing 2 Vital Balance shakes a day also. Now, a lot of times people are not eating enough, and that's the problem. You need to add more food. You shouldn't be hungry because look at this unlimited list of vegetables that you can have throughout the day. You can also find this. Okay, somebody needs to mute themselves, please. On my website, vitalenergytips.com, vitalenergytips.com, and I do have this eating program laid out there. I also have some different recipes there that you can find. And we do have the support call on Friday mornings, just Friday, not Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So, I mean, you just get creative with food. So this was literally, I took some the healthy lunch meat. I cracked an egg in it. I put some olive tamponade on top. And you know what? Each one of these little egg cups is 9 grams of protein. So I'm going to actually escape out of this PowerPoint right now because that is the eating plan. And
Can I share my testimony while we're doing that? While you're looking?
Okay, Barbara.
I just want to share that I had mental fog for almost 2 years, and stress, different things occurred, but I just had this veil, and it was horrific. I cleaned up my diet. I did a lot of things, and the right side cleared, but the left side stayed foggy. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be this way for the rest of my life. And it was just. And then Vital Balance was introduced, and I listened to Roger Drummer and a few others about having the just pure protein in the morning and wait 2 hours before you have anything else. And on day 3 is a very culminating day. It was like sunshine coming through the fog. And then on day 4, all the neutrons and all the things just connected, and it all lifted, and I got my brain back, which is vital, which is amazing. And so I just say that because we have some amazing things in our shake that's better than any other shake. And I wanted to underline that. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Barbara. And so this is my website, so you can see vitalenergytips.com. I do have, starting off, Barbara's Vital Balance ice cream featuring the Vital Balance. Also talking about ginger root water, flat belly tea, some different things. So you start getting more creative. So you look at this as an adventure. You know, chia seed pudding, low carb, but it tastes just like tapioca. And so you don't look at like, oh, I can't have that, I can't have that, I can't have that. You look at like, well, what else is out there that I have never had before? Like butternut squash instead of mashed potatoes, actually mashed cauliflower instead of mashed potatoes. So some of those different things that are on my website. And the whole eating plan that we just laid out is on the landing page right here. So you can go back over this again if you want to share it with somebody else. Something I just discovered that I'm so thrilled with because I love yogurt. I don't like ice cream, but I love yogurt. And like that ultra filtered milk is now high protein, low carb. Well, I'm like, why can't they do that with yogurt? Well, Yoplait actually did, and it's called YQ. So they're plain yogurt, 17 grams of protein in 1 cup and only 1 gram of sugar. How exciting. And they have these other flavors. These are lower carb. You know, a carton of yogurt can be 22 to 33 grams of carbohydrates, which is just, oh, it's decadent. So now they have like even the mango, it's 15 grams of protein, 9 grams of sugar. The vanilla, they actually comes in a larger container. So this is not for breakfast. This is for later in the day, a little snack, but you still want to keep your carbs under 30 a day. So just a couple little extra things I wanted to share with you guys, some extra tips. And you have 4 times the success if you have a buddy. So find a partner. It's only 7 days at a time. Only 7 days at a time. So find a buddy and let's check in and find out what your goal is, whether it's 5 pounds or 30 pounds. So you only commit to 7 days at a time. It's like, wow, that's really working. I'm going to keep going. So we invite you to join us and let's get healthier in this lifestyle. So that's that for this recording, and we'll carry on. Thank you. Okay, Barbara, now you can talk. You have to unmute yourself again.
You were still recording. Okay. Yay, Linda. I did a curb and sugar craving class last night. I'm like, I'm going to run down and get the sugar and help, That was so great.
Yeah, I had it here, but when you put a PowerPoint on, it takes up the whole screen. So
I'm still recording.
I thought I